Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village named Surjapur, nestled between rolling hills and fertile fields, life was simple but full of joy. The village had everything it needed to survive. The farmers grew lush crops of wheat and rice, the potters molded the finest clay pots, the weavers crafted intricate cloth, and the blacksmiths forged tools that were used far and wide. The people lived in harmony, and every individual played an essential role in the community. In Surjapur, there was an unspoken rule: the value of a person is in what they give to the community. And so, every villager took pride in their work, whether it was planting seeds, shaping clay, or weaving fabrics. The village thrived because each person understood the importance of their contribution. One day, a wealthy merchant named Ratanlal passed through Surjapur. He was a man of many words and grand promises. When he saw the villagers working hard with their hands, he smiled and thought to himself, "Why work so hard when people can simply buy everything they need?" Ratanlal, who had traveled far and wide, quickly set up shop in the village square. He brought with him beautifully crafted goods, shiny metal pots, colorful fabrics, and intricate tools, items the villagers could never make themselves. He spoke to the villagers, saying, "Why toil away when you can buy things that are already perfect? Imagine the time you could save by purchasing instead of creating." The villagers were initially unsure. But over time, they grew tired of the constant labor. They thought, what if we could spend more time resting or enjoying life? Maybe this merchant is right. Slowly, they began to buy Ratanlal's goods. The farmers stopped plowing their fields, the potters abandoned their wheels, and the weavers put down their looms. It was easier to buy what they needed than to make it themselves. For a while, everything seemed to be fine. The villagers had shiny new pots, fine clothes, and sharp tools. They relaxed, thinking they had found the shortcut to happiness. But as the months went by, something started to change. The crops began to wither because no one tended to the soil. The market square became empty as the villagers no longer needed to trade their wares. The laughter and songs that once filled the air slowly faded. Soon, the villagers realized that the money they had spent on Ratanlal's goods was running out. Without their usual trades, they had no way of earning more. The merchants and traders of other villages didn't want to buy their crops or products anymore, as the quality had dropped. The once thriving village was now full of empty fields and abandoned workshops. Ratanlal, seeing that there was no more money to be made, packed up his goods and left the village. He didn't look back. The villagers were left to face the consequences of their choices. The once proud village of Surjapur now stood in silence. In the middle of the village square, the elderly Amma Gauri, known for her wisdom, called for a gathering. The villagers, ashamed and worried about what to do next, listened intently as she spoke. "My dear children," she began, "we have been blinded by the promise of convenience and wealth. But remember this, our true wealth is not in what we buy, but in what we make with our own hands. The value of our village was never in the pots we purchased or the clothes we wore, but in the work we did together." Amma Gauri held up a single seed, cradling it gently in her hands. This is the real treasure. It takes effort to plant, to nurture, and to grow. Just like this seed, the value of a person lies in the effort they put into their work, the care they give to others, and the way they support their community. Without our hands, without our skills, we are nothing. The villagers were quiet, reflecting on Amma Gauri's words. Slowly, they began to see the truth in what she said. "We need each other," one farmer said, "and we need our skills. Without them, we lose not just our crops, but our identity." The villagers made a pact that day. They would return to their roots, to their trades, and to the values that had once made Surjapur a thriving and joyful place. The farmers returned to their fields, tending to them with renewed care. The potters sat at their wheels, molding clay once again. The blacksmiths reignited their forges, and the weavers resumed their looms. Together, they rebuilt their village. It wasn't easy at first. The work was hard, and progress was slow. But as time passed, the village began to flourish once again. The fields were full, the market square was alive with trades, and the laughter and music returned. And so, Surjapur learned an important lesson: true value is not in what you own, but in what you contribute to others and the effort you put into your work. The village never forgot that lesson again. And as the years passed, Surjapur became a beacon of prosperity, not because of its wealth, but because of its people.